Joined the Marine Corps in 2005. 2 days after I turned 18, my feet were on the yellow footprints at boot camp. And that was right after I graduated high school. We got extended my first tour for the surge. We were about a month away from going home after a very long, very dangerous, very stressful tour for our whole battalion. But right after, a few hours after President Bush got off the TV announcing the surge, we got word that we're staying for a few more months. So, big bummer, and you know, it's really sad to think about the I guess the losses we took of all capacities, after that. One of the things that really struck me over there is seeing not only the effect on those who I was serving with, but the effect that we were having on the population of Iraq. I'm convinced that close to 100% of Iraqis have PTSD. It's when we drove down the street, we saw the same look of horror, the same empty look in their eyes that you often see in veterans' eyes. And it's having PTSD is almost it's almost not so much about the trauma that you experience. It's more about the betrayal that trauma symbolized, that trauma pronounced. So when you get out of the military, as the others were talking about, it's you've been betrayed, you've been let down, and now you're out and you're on your own, and who's gonna be there for you, and who's got your back now? So it's a very lonely presence just getting out of the Marine Corps, which is, after I got out in 2009 after 2 tours, 17 months in Iraq. So I got out at the end of 2009. Within about a month, I applied to the VA for health care, because before I got out, I had been seeing a psychologist about combat stress, although apparently he couldn't diagnose me because, that of course costs a lot of money, every diagnosis. But so I wasn't not diagnosed, and I applied to the VA for health care for what I thought to be PTSD and lower back pain, among other, however much the military will really screw you up after 4 or 5 years. The last time I heard from the VA was January 2010, and they said that they were sending my paperwork further up the chain to have the riot approval or whatever. So that was the last I heard from them. So over 2 years I've been waiting, but instead of taking their help, I found better help, I think, in working with Iraq Veterans Against the War. Being able to find a community of veterans who had been through the same things, who are on the same page as me, who have who are there for you again. It's almost like the human connection that you had with your brothers when you were in. It's there. It's the first step of the healing process, and it's not an easy step for many to take, because by making that step and by admitting that betrayal and by really looking at in-depth the issue of what have I done? What did I really just go through over the past few years? Like, what does this mean to me? And it's a very difficult step for many, because it's admitting, you come to points of admitting, I wasted 17 months in Iraq. My brothers and sisters over there died for what amounts to nothing. And that's a lot to say, and a lot of people will get hostile at you making those claims, but it's true. It's true.
And because they don't want to admit it's true.
Right. But, you know, coming to that truth is, you know, the first step on the way to healing. And, you know, once you arrive at that truth, then you can decide how to affect the system that's made this possible.